Hello, everybody, and welcome to this presentation of the ECL Elite Division right here on Sports Gamer. It is Tukey here, joined as always by my broadcast partner, Mr. Sin, for the win as we wrap up our coverage of our fourth week. Can you believe it already? Our fourth week here in our spring season. Sin, a couple of big games coming up here in this broadcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially this Roots and HAVU matchup. I mean, HAVU's now, a couple games above 500, in that playoff hunt. Roots Gaming, despite, being above 500, 5-3-4, they find themselves in 14th place. And, it's crazy just how close it is really for these teams to get into that left-hand side of the bracket and just how close the points race is really between so many teams. And it's just the competition level of this division in the spring season is just absolutely above and beyond what we really expected.
Of course, Sin mentioned it. We kick off today's broadcast, as you see on screen, HAVU against Roots. A little bit later on, Frölunda taking on Goons in a battle of two teams that enter play today in a playoff spot. And with that, we will get you a look here at the standings as they happen to be entering play for this particular broadcast. As always, the left-hand side of the bracket is where you want to be. Our top 8 make the postseason. And right now, again, still a bit of a discrepancy between some teams in terms of games played. Sin, of course, you mentioned Roots with just the 12, IQ as well, still with just 12 games played. And of course, you see the cap around 18 games played. Those teams pushing their way already towards 2/3 of the way done with this 30-game regular season.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Roots has an advantage here. They are the team with the fewest amount of tied for the fewest amount of games played so far. Them and IQ, but Roots definitely better position than IQ is to be able to work their way back up the standings. I mean, they win one game today, they leapfrog YMCA, they get 3 points out of today. They're able to get up to where ZSC Esports are, and with all those extra games that they potentially have as well, you see all those teams above them who have 6 extra games played. I mean, a tremendous opportunity for them to be able to leapfrog those teams and get all the more closer to that left hand side of the bracket, which I'm sure they want to be after really narrowly missing for the last couple seasons.
An incredibly close race up and down the standings. We'll, of course, be with you here every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday to see how it all pans out. But I want to talk about some of the latest results now as we look at how these teams have performed, heading into the action here today. I think we do have more than the 2 results here available, hopefully. At the very least, of course, if we do not, these were the games that were played yesterday off broadcast. It was a split between Yipavosco and HV71 Sin. How about that? HV picking up 3 out of 4 points. And then the big shocker, Conquer Gaming taking a win over Frölunda in overtime.
Yeah, and that's really big for Conquer, to take 2 points away from a team, one of those top 2 teams that we talk about. It's always so important. But if you're Frölunda, you're probably not happy about that loss. But at the same time, walking away with 3 out of 4 points, not the end of the world. And, I'm sure they wanted that extra 4th point, but, 3 out of 4 points, they'll still be happy, still maintain where they are. And, there's some of the other results. You see Roots taking the 2 games over ZSC, and that's going to be pretty big as that's one of those teams that they're looking to leapfrog and have all those games in hand.
Absolutely. Again, a massive result for them and can really take that extra step forward if they find success here today again against HAVU Gaming, who themselves are coming off of a double over Färjestad. Both scores 2-1. The final tally there. So again, heading into the action today, to a very interesting matchups. Not the only matchups going on, though, off broadcast. Sawo Esports taking on the Fallon Coal Miners, and we'll try to keep up to date with that as well. As you would have seen, Sawo very much in the mix in the playoff hunt. Of course, they finished as our 2nd seed in the regular season this past winter. For now, we will focus on the task at hand. The stats here for our first matchup. Again, Roots Gaming taking on HAVU Gaming. And Sin, interesting that both of these teams find themselves with that -1 goal differential.
Yeah, and it's almost like almost an identical pace if you kind of take in the games played into account as well. So this is an incredibly even matchup. A slight power play advantage for Roots, but the penalty kills are just about even. So on paper, this looks like it should be really close. But HAVU has lately been kind of streaking and really sort of figuring things out. So Roots, I think, definitely going to have their hands full here.
Absolutely. And with that, of course, the lineups for this matchup here tonight as well. For HAVU Gaming is the primary six that we have seen all season long. Sin that'll be stepping onto the ice for them here in this particular matchup. Of course, Pawanso, Adominointi, and Vilikun as the front three. Now Sustelia and Sibelius on defense with Anselino between the pipes. And for Roots Gaming as well, as here you go, you got to look at it. Is Limu, Alexa, and Sampe on that right hand side. Nordsman Vodi on defense. At least I do believe it was
Oh, we have
projected
a
to be.
change.
Actually, we have a late word that we do have a change on defense there for Roots. So not only a change on lefty, but a change as well in goal, as Yontis will be slotting in for this matchup.
Yeah, kind of a interesting sort of a curveball thrown at us here late. I mean, Nordsman's been doing pretty good. I mean, 11 points in 12 games played. We're going to get to see Mika here, as well as, Yantes, who we have seen, a good chunk of throughout his career here. But yeah, it's, again, X factors here in a matchup that's going to be pretty important against a team like HAVU, who is really starting to figure things out with this new look that they have, minus Flyer Kungan.
Absolutely. It will be the season debut for the depth player there for Roots Gaming, normally not looking to slot in as a defender either. And of course, Yantiston, as you have mentioned, we have seen before, of course, in the Elite Division this season. I mean, he and Mehis have split it 6-6 in terms of the games played, and he has statistically been the better of the netminders this season. So worth keeping an eye on this particular matchup here. And you have to wonder now, the changes as we'll get into the individual matchups, just what effect these late changes will have. But for now, we'll move ahead as we do. It is our center comparison, Dominointi and Alexa going head to head. And honestly, I mean, Sin, the numbers are much, much closer than one might expect.
Yeah, and again, games played, kind of plays a big factor here. But yeah, Dominointi, point per game, we usually kind of see him over that mark, whereas Lexa, at over point per game mark, and that's good for Roots. Again, this is going to be a tough matchup nonetheless, but it seems like they've been kind of in the right trending in the right direction despite being 14th place again, and more of a games played discrepancy. They're well poised to be able to move their way into the lineup, and Lexa has been a pretty big part of that as well, doing good on the faceoff dot too.
The winger comparison here next, of course, for HAVU Gaming, Pawanso and Vilikun on the other side, Limu and Sampi. And, again, Sim, we kind of talked about it in the coverage that we've had for HAVU so far this season. What a natural fit Vilikun has been on that right-hand side.
Absolutely. He has been phenomenal, and not so much like getting caught up and feeling like he has to continue to play defense. He's slotted in incredibly well into that right wing side. Oftentimes the defenseman will step up and you can kind of see him really fall into a two-way game, which can be a trap, especially if they're playing winger. But Vilikun often the first to leave the zone. Obviously still plays good defense when he needs to, but not afraid to stretch the game out and getting the point totals really to kind of back up his incredible style. 14 goals, 42 shots. He's looked really good so far, and definitely not out of place on that right wing side.
Absolutely. And again, we move over to the defensive comparison now here as well, where, of course, again, for HAVU, we knew the two that would be there now, Sustelia and Sibelius. But on the other side, we thought we knew the two that would be there, and not so much as, again, Mickey's will be into this lineup alongside Vodi on defense. And Sin, to call Vodi one of the most physical presences, maybe the biggest physical presence on the ice in the Elite Division, might be an understatement.
Yeah, perhaps. I think we'll see his nemesis in physical play a bit later today as we cover Goons and get to see a Kriketsi hit the ice but he's back on defense now. So yeah, Vodi may be just the most physical forward that we have in the ECL Elite at this point, and doesn't have the points that he wants or that would help his team out, but creating that physical presence, big hits in the neutral zone, creating some turnovers like that, could be a very nice thing.
And of course, the goaltending battle here, as well as, again, a late change to the lineup for Roots Gaming, but they do get the better of their two netminders so far this season in Yantes between the pipes. He'll be against Hanselino Nasin. Hans's numbers on the rise as of late, but still a shade under that, standard bearing 80% save percentage that every goaltender looks to hit at the bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, those are terrific numbers from Giannis, as you were saying, and the goals against being near identical for these two guys. Hanselino, again, trending in the right direction with the team. We're kind of seeing HAVU finally becoming, the sum of all their parts and stuff like that. We all know how talented each of these individuals are, and once they're starting to figure it out, you're seeing everything fall into place, and you're seeing Hanselino get back up towards that 80% benchmark, and I'm sure he's going to surpass that. His numbers will probably move up close to where Giannis's are by the end of the season.
So again, we will get to the action here as soon as we possibly can. Should be just a few moments away, but a friendly reminder, of course, of everything that we have going on here when it comes to Sports Gamer and, of course, the ECL at large. Not, of course, just the Elite Division, but everything else as well. And, of course, one of our main partners here for the ECL, of course, our friends at Wilhelm currently have so much going on, as we have talked to you about all season long. Of course, then we have the e-hockey tour, stops every single weekend throughout Finland. Of course, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need on that. And of course, as well, still looking on Twitter and Instagram for your best or worst moments in NHL 22. Use the hashtag eHockeyMoments, and you'll have a chance to walk away with some IQ fuel. We are giving away some every single weekend up until the end of June. So again, sportsgamer.gg for all the info on the Wilhelm eHockey Tour. And again, use the hashtag eHockeyMoments on Twitter and Instagram with the best and worst that NHL 22 has had to offer you. So again, Sin, as we head into the action today and looking at, and we can throw back, I think, to the standings here that we have, looking at what this matchup happens to mean for both of these teams. Is again, HAVU enters play today in 7th, and Sin, it wasn't all that long ago that they were towards the bottom half of the standings. We talked about it throughout the broadcast with them. It was a bit of a slow start. Such a massive change to their lineup. I don't really think it's not very easy to kind of quantify essentially just how much of a challenge that can be to overcome having your captain depart your team. But here they are battling back around, in a playoff position entering the action today in a general sense around a playoff position as well. Granted, of course, they have 4 more games played than Örebro and are only 1 game above them, but they're right back into the mix. Whereas, again, you talked about with Roots, a few games played, but them as well, at least off of something like points percentage, they're pretty much battling for the same spots, those final few playoff spots that HAVU are battling for.
Yeah, and HAVU, again, the turnaround that they were able to put on really can't be understated. They started off, I think, the first 6 games or so play. They only had 1 win. They're now up to 8 with 18. So they've obviously been trending in the right direction, getting themselves going here. The schedule, it's never easy here in the elite, but a team right here, a team that they believe they should be able to beat in Roots, just a huge opportunity for them. To be able to kind of get some of those points and try to stay in that left-hand side of the bracket. I think you made a good point. Some of the teams around them, the 2 teams behind them, actually, 4 games in hand apiece. So it's going to be tough for HAVU here down the stretch. They did, that rough start to the season put them in a tough spot here down the stretch, but they really have seemed to figure things out here where they're going. And if you're on the side of Roots, you feel like, you do have some money in the bank, but it's going to be, every single matchup's important for them too. I mean, they are in 14th despite having all the games in hand. You have to win those games to be able to work your way back up the standings.
Absolutely. And again, a reminder for those of you that might have missed the very beginning of this broadcast, of course, 2 games coming up between HAVU and Roots Gaming. And again, a little bit later on for Lunda HC taking on Goons, another big matchup, as you would have seen there, based off of the standings. So a big match day for all 4 of these clubs. As again, we get ready, should just be a few moments from now, puck drop game number 1 between, again, HAVU Gaming and Roots. Very important points up for grabs in this one. Again, I mentioned it before. A reminder, we're here every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday, covering the Elite Division right here on Sports Gamer. And of course, every Tuesday is our Pro Division coverage as well, as we continue to find out kind of what the set of circumstances will be, not only heading into the end of this season, Sin, where there might just be a grand final awaiting two teams, but of course, heading into NHL 23, and what I presume to be, of course, the upcoming winter season there as well. Going to be so interesting with how the pace has been set every offseason, teams coming and going, players making, gigantic transfers to really shake up the landscape. Never
Mhm.
really know what we're going to get on a season by season basis. And when talking about that grand championship, we don't know what we're going to get. And again, a reminder for everybody what that format happens to be, new to the ECL for this season, a split format between winter and spring. H-Reds, of course, our winter champions, walked away with a 6K euro prize pool. Sin, if they win the spring season as well, they automatically claim that 10 grand as the grand final prize. But if a different team wins this spring season, they will meet H-Reds in that grand final.
Yeah, and that's where it's really kind of going to get interesting here is whether or not that grand final will be played. I mean, the both narratives are pretty insane. You think about it, H-Reds winning another championship would be 3 in a row, whereas they already made history by being the first back-to-back. They would, I mean, put themselves in at least a thinkably unreachable position to be able to catch by any team. But I mean, at the same time, at one point we thought Frölunda and HAVU would continue to face each other in the championship until one of those teams broke up. And well, we saw how quickly that narrative shifted towards H-Reds becoming what they are today. So anything can happen. And with how competitive the Elite continues to get, I mean, we just saw the standings and how close everything is. It's who you never quite know what's going to happen here, but H-Red's looking to maintain that title, and every single team, every other 15th team, looking to kind of push them off of that mountain.
Absolutely. So again, just a few seconds away now. Not even moments. We're down to seconds away from puck drop between HAVU and Roots. Two incredibly valuable points up for grabs here in this first matchup. Again, Roots now a furious pace to the end of their season and the schedule that is ahead. Again, being one of two teams with just 12 games played on the season. For HAVU, they're storming back, trying to get back into the playoff conversation. This is an incredibly important matchup for both of these teams. Again, as always, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need. Again, to follow along with this season, not just the elite season, but the pro division and below that, of course, as well. It's a hell of a league setup that we have here as we get the action underway. It will be HAVU in the road white and green, with Roots in the home black. So I don't know. I don't recall HAVU rocking the road green pants, and I think that's a new addition to the team. And it might grow on me, but it's an interesting look. Is how I'm viewing it right now. Interesting looks early on offensively as well, and a squeeze of the pads there. Yonta's having to come up big in just the opening moments of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As a quick and very aggressive push. Coming out from HAVU Gaming right here is that's such a quick start. I mean, and Roots, almost taken off guard, not seeming ready for it. Yonta, as you mentioned, it had to be sharp right there, and he absolutely was, really kind of staving off the pressure, but they're still going here.
Good kick save again. So we saw the high save percentage for Yontas heading in to this game. He's having to make some big saves there early on and doing just that. There's Roots in on the attack for the first time, not able to get that pass through. HAVU looking to reset here. And now up to 8 wins in their first 18 games played. 30-game regular season. The dump here by Nasustelia. HAVU giving chase. Dominoiti picked that one up, nearly had space on the short side. Kick back to the point. Great job by Sibelius to walk that tightrope and keep the puck in. Give and go was broken up now. Dominoiti winning another puck. Wraparound scores! Dominoiti starts off the game strong for HAVU, 1-0.
An unassisted goal from behind the net as he continued to try to find some passes out front to both Villikun and on the opposite side, Poinso, and then decided he'll just take it himself, is able to squeeze that one home on Yantes, and that's a great little bit of baiting that he used. Continued to look for that pass to Villikun and then went back the other way for the wraparound. Yantes a little bit slow to get to that get to that post because he had to respect the pass on the short side there to Villikun. Excellent bit of job from HAVU with the down low work, and they are looking fierce, and Roots really haven't had a chance to even get it into their zone, much less take a shot or get a chance.
Perfect here from HAVU. Let's see how the next few minutes play out. Roots, we'll be looking for that very strong response. Difficult to break down this HAVU defense at times, though, as this puck again dumped in. And from the right side by Sibelius. Villikun holds that puck down low, still has it. Poinso circles through, short side, off the pad, still fought on for. And it kicks out to Sampi, going down the other way. He'll dump it in. Good job by Lexa to pick that one up in stride. Nearly turned over. Roots still have it. Tried to go back to the point. Poinso was there. And Roots trying to get right back in. Another dump and chase, maybe inadvertent, but still. Wraparound scores! It's being contested. We'll get another look at this one. And tough to disagree.
Yeah, that's Sampi got into the crease right there. A lot of contact with Hanselino, which may have at least prevented him momentarily from being able to get back, as I believe that was Mike's down low. I saw number 96 as well. Just a lot of bodies down low for Roots Gaming after the dump of Chase trying to get some offense, but the goal is indeed called back here. So 1-0 lead maintained for HAVU.
Opportunity lost there for Roots. HAVU will generate one of their own here. Loose puck recovered by Lima, throws one on, saved by Hanselino. And again, having to stay down in the butterfly to keep that one out of a face-off in the HAVU zone.
Yeah, a little bit of a dicey situation right there as HAVU just trying to settle things, but they are getting, well, I would say the majority of the face-offs, but so far, Dominointi's won every single one of them, so we'll see if he could do that here in the defensive zone.
Shot wired wide is a great chance there for Lima to try to bank it in on the secondary attempt. And well, though, now Sistelia. That pass again broken up by Limu. Flap shot blocked down. Roots doing a good job now of kind of forcing the issue here and generating these turnovers off of the HAVU defense. Good pick off by Nasistelia. HAVU trying to gain the attacking zone one more time. They do. Sibelius down low. Dominointi, the goal scorer to kick things off here. Gets it back. Good quick movement. Again, they have possession. D to D. Shot. Loose puck in front. Nearly swept in. A great chance again for Dominointi. Roots trying to get this one out. They find the feed over now. But unfortunately, an offside call there.
Yeah, a lot of kind of back and forth here, but it's more sustained pressure back and forth. We saw Roots a bit ago really kind of hemming HAVU in, making it difficult for them to get out of the zone. HAVU was able to finally do so, got it back in, was able to get some chances of their own. That down low cycle really looking as deadly as ever for HAVU, that we know that they have historically loved to get that, and they're going back to the well here, even with this new lineup, and it's seeming to work for them.
Final minute of the play here in the first period. Good forechecking pressure. Shot on again. Forces the save. Puck was loose for a moment. Trouble getting it out, but ultimately the clock is their friend. Time expires. A 1-0 lead for HAVU Gaming after the opening 20 minutes. It was from this goal by Dominointi.
Just an excellent job, kind of down low on that wraparound again, kind of trying to get some passes out to the short sides to Villikun, and then using him as bait on the next play to get that wraparound chance off. And you see that right there with that little shimmy behind the net. You see players do that all the time. It can fake out the defender, but more importantly, that kind of lateral movement can really almost freeze a goaltender at times. And when you're already presenting the threat of that short side shot by, the leading goal scorer of HAVU in Villikun there. You have to be aware of him as a goaltender. So that gave Dominoichi just that split second advantage by going for that wraparound to be able to sneak that one home on Yantes. And we saw some of the follow-up opportunities at the end of the period. HAVU Gaming got a shot to the net. Dominoichi swept it. I think it just went off the side of the post there. And Roots did have I'd say a good shift or so inside the HAVU end and did a great job of forechecking. But again, once HAVU was able to get that out and get that back down, they were able to take over kind of on the attack and really put the pressure on Roots. So advantage HAVU in the stats, advantage on the scoreboard here. We'll see if they can continue that in the second period, if Roots can successfully push back and get an advantage of their own.
Second period underway. Shot blocked down. Good step up there, Limu. Impressive so far in this one. Another shot just wide. Loose puck scores! It bounced back in front. Zombie was there to pick it up. And Roots tie it here in the early stages of this second period.
Nice bit of work right there. You see the close quarter straight coming in. He's right on the doorstep there. Maybe a bit of a nicer bounce, but nonetheless, good job to drive the front of the net and take that shot. Roots with the response they needed here early in the second period, tying this one up at 1.
Big time moment there. Sampi's 6th of the season. Puts Roots right back into this one. HAVU. Opportunity goes to the wayside as Roots try to get it back into the attacking zone. Contested at the point, and HAVU regained possession. Quick passes from the defenders, opening up the lane there. Dominoichi now off the pads, loose puck, and again recovered in the slot by Roots. No time to establish any possession, though. HAVU surrendering that goal and tightening up defensively. Another dump and chase. Both teams utilizing it in this game so far. As a penalty has been called, Roots will go to the power play if they need it. We'll have a chance here to maybe get that goal. The extra attacker out, but the puck is recovered. And we will see the Roots power play go to work.
Yeah, and this is a big opportunity for them to compound some of that momentum. You see Villikun, you saw the pass by the man in front of the guy he hit. The pass had just left his stick, so clearly aiming for that guy, but kind of got what looked like hooked onto the trailer behind him and laid him out, and that'll, no question, 2 minutes interference right there. So this is a big kill for HAVU Gaming here. They don't want to lose the advantage that they got in that first period.
The top-rated power play of Roots Gaming at 31%. Go to work. Unfortunately, though, up against the 4th-ranked PK, the 85% kill for HAVU Gaming here. So we'll see what happens, and what a strong start this is for HAVU on the kill. 2 successful clears, wipes out the first minute, and already again, this one denied, and HAVU doing a great job of denying zone entries. Forcing Roots into an offside position. This has been just about as perfect of a kill as you can get, Sin, without a shorthanded goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, they got the early clear, and then from them on, it's been a battle for Roots to get back into the zone, and we see that so often, especially from some of, the top defensive teams. When we think about it, just the top teams in general, but, HAVU, there's the question, can they get back to becoming that top team? But with where they're trending, with the defense that they're playing here, they could get that scoring touch to back to where it used to be at one point. They could definitely work their way, back up into that conversation here. And great penalty kill. You see them just kind of dilly-dallying with the puck. If Roots isn't going to pressure, they're not going to necessarily try to work that one up the ice. Man out of the box here. Successful kill for HAVU. That may actually give them a bit of momentum there. Roots wasn't able to generate a whole lot.
No, and a great chance to score 2 unanswered to come back and grab the lead in this one. Doesn't happen on that chance. They still obviously have time, as we've just passed the midway point of regulation here in the second period. Limu has it. Shot glove. Save Hanselino. And had some heat on it despite being shot from the point.
Yeah, kind of a shot from distance, looking for maybe a rebound or some traffic crossing in front, but a bit of a routine stop for Hanselino, another offensive zone draw, but Dominoichi's been great so far in the dot.
Off the draw, it is Dominoichi coming up with it again. Stated numerous times on these broadcasts, one of the premier centers, especially in terms of winning faceoffs consistently. Roots have it now. Again, for those that missed it, 2 late changes to the Roots lineup. So far not having an overly negative effect. This one mistimed and an offside called with 6:27 to go here in the second period.
Yeah, not a bad look from HAVU. Poinso just jumped the gun a little too early there. You saw the frustration chop at the puck, perhaps, at the end of that play, knowing his mistake right there. And kind of what could have been a good chance to set up, gone by the wayside there. So they'll try to get it in. Beautiful pass over to Villikun.
This one picked off as the pass down low again. HAVU again looking. It's set up. And again, at the blue line, having trouble themselves. It's been a much more, outside of Sin the first couple of minutes where Roots got that goal, it's been a much more defensive period for both sides.
Yeah, really tightly contested, kind of falling into the neutral zone. But here's an entry for HAVU.
90 shot kicked away by Yantas. Just pass there off the boards, utilizing that slap shot. Limu outworked on that occasion by Nasistelia. No idea. Again, what a poke check. Vody shutting him down. See what they can do as the puck is dumped in around the boards. Villikun, the former defender, again jumping up to forward. Team's leading scorer this season. It's worked out quite well. Loose puck, and he just skated over it. Did Lexa. Final few seconds. Sibelius, a little bit of trouble. Will there be enough time to get a shot off? The answer is no. Both teams playing with fire a little bit there in terms of a potential penalty. But regardless, this opening goal, at least early on in the second period for Asampi, the difference maker right now.
Yeah, I mean, a tie game because of it. Just a good start from Roots, and then it really kind of settled into really a war of attrition there in the neutral zone as both these teams, were when they gained the line, they either got one shot or one potential pass to set up a chance, and then immediately they couldn't win the battles to get to the loose pucks right here, and that's kind of not allowing either team to really gain the momentum that they need to have the distinct advantage. So overall, HAVU still in control when it comes to the stats overall in the game, but they only had 2 registered shots in that period. They ended the first with 7, so you see just how much of a different look that period had than the first period, especially for a team like HAVU, who got a ton of those offensive chances in that first ton of offensive zone time. And in this one, they're just hard-pressed to be able to gain that line. And when they did, you see right there, puck battle won behind the net by Roots. They're able to kind of get that out. There's no sustained pressure, really, from either of these teams. And with the tie game, we're going to be looking for one of these teams to be able to gain that advantage here and get that go-ahead goal in the third.
Indeed, the third period underway. Tied at 1 apiece. Goals from Dominoiti of HAVU Gaming and Sampi. The tally for Roots. Important points up for grabs here for both of these teams. A shot on is denied. Again, Roots will cross or at least get closer, I should say. I'm not actually, they've only bring them up to 14 games played on the season. It would still bring them that much closer, Sid, to crossing the midway point. It's crazy to think that I believe by the end of today, some teams would have played over 20 games, and Roots will still be at just 14.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It just goes to show you how many games they have here, and a lot of time to work with this. HAVU, nice quick shot from Puan, so they're testing the short side, but Yantes was all over it.
And he has been the better of the 2 Roots netminders, a late addition into the lineup, but strong performance here so far. Been called upon quite a few times already. You see a clean win for Lexa, but it is HAVU who come up with it. Force pass into the middle. Bounces around and back to the point. Sibelius help from Villikun to keep this one in. Back to the point. Dominoiti couldn't get that shot off. And Limu, very strong effort in terms of stick checking in this game so far. Shot just wide again on that glove side of Hanselinho. Delia's pass off the mark. Roots keep it in. Wide to the left. One more time there of Hansu. Having to keep him on his toes, though. Castellia nowhere to go. Forced to circle back and try to draw out a different look. Delia's back to him. Gains the line, contested. Puanzo fighting for it. Dominoiti, the physical effort to try and free that one up. He does have it, at least momentarily, as it goes back. An open man. Great recovery. Puanzo shot blocked. Loose puck. Out to the right again. Nervous moments for these two teams.
Absolutely. The puck acting like a bit of a hot potato, but HAVU doing a great job on the forecheck, keeping it alive. Shot on, goes just high.
Big time deflection there. Under 9 minutes to play in regulation. Here come Roots. Bit of space. That one picked off by the defense. Again, if we were to go to overtime, sudden death rules apply. Be here for as long as is necessary. Limu sends it around. Lex is there to pick it up. Pass across. Just not able to get that shot off. Maybe a buffered shot there. Hit the side of the cage. Some unorthodox looks for these two teams. Here's Puanzo. Can't hold on to it. A big hit. Billy Coon. HAVU regain possession. Again, just momentarily. So feeling like this, it feels like, oh, okay, maybe we won't get a goal anytime soon. But Sim, we've seen it before. Play like this, you're going to get a goal sooner rather than later, maybe even when you least expect it.
Absolutely. As this back and forth game continues with a lot of turnovers here, as Roots now looking to establish themselves with just like that. HAVU, good job on the defensive end, taking that puck away. We'll see if they're able to get this in. Maybe they want to work the perimeter a bit more before trying to go to the middle.
Sauce across into the pads of Yantes. Puanzo just couldn't bury the chance. Maybe the best chance HAVU's had since their opening goal.
Yeah, you could definitely make that argument here, as they haven't really had any really dangerous looks despite having some good shots. That was their first really in-tight opportunity that looked like it could have had a chance to go in, and fortunately for them, just like that, Roots win the face-off and clear that one out, so left the battle to get back in. They go with the dump and chase here.
Just about approach the final minute of play here. Defense by Sibelius, loose puck. Celia there again to settle things down. Sibelius turns that one over, though. Stoppy. Hounded by that HAVU defense. Limu again getting in there to try to break it up. Instead, it's HAVU. The attacking zone with Puanzo. Who else would it be? Limu to shut that down. 30 seconds now. HAVU work their way back into the zone. Puanzo's pass intercepted. Dominoiti recovers. Takes the hit. Sibelius. And Billy Coon fighting for it. Dominoiti sauced across. Nearly found its intended target. We have 10 seconds to go now. Each team moments away from a point. HAVU have something else in mind. Good interception. And again, just not able to pick up that puck after forcing the turnover. It is a 1-1 score after 60. We'll take overtime to decide this one.
Yeah, maybe a bit of a tough breaks, really, for both of these teams here, as loose pucks seem to be very hard to be able to find the handle on here, as you saw from at the end there, HAVU continuing to force those pucks loose to try to keep it in the zone, and they just couldn't quite get the handle on it. So both teams securing a point here, but HAVU's got to feel like they deserved a bit of a better result there. 6 minutes time at attack, 12 registered shots, just the one goal. But at the same time, we've seen it so often. You can have those stats, the time at attack and the shots, but if you're not putting the puck in the back of the net, at the end of the day, it simply doesn't matter. They have to get one more goal here to be able to secure that extra point, despite playing as good as they did for the majority of that game here. And a good job by Lexa to battle back in the faceoff dot. The game started off, I think, 5 faceoffs to none advantage for Dominoiti. So Lexa making the adjustments needed to be able to get back in that race a bit tighter and give some more possession time to Roots here. So overtime underway. We'll see which team is going to be able to get the advantage here and find that game-winning goal.
Again, HAVU into the attacking zone. We called it When Will It End Wednesdays on occasion for a track record of long overtime games. Will this be added to the collection? Does Puanzo have something else in mind? He did, but Yantes is able to make the stop.
Yeah, I think he may have been looking either for the far side of the 5-hole right there and either hit the stick or the pad, but a good look from Puanzo here is I'm in a bit of trouble in their own end.
Mighty though with a crucial recovery. Villikun now protecting that puck along the boards. Trying to find Dominoiti in front. Roots knowing what's coming though. Defending well. Sibelius going to be able to win that foot race. Close call. Will lead to a HAVU face-off in the Roots end.
This is a big moment for them. If they can win this cleanly, establish their setup, they don't have to worry about, gaining the blue line on their own here. So big moment.
Off the tie-up. Roots able to maintain possession. He dumps to that far side. Stompy wins the race, but again, double team pressure from HAVU a bit too much. Bellius back over, loose puck. And well by Vody. Drop right back down to him. Stompy nowhere to go. Said so many times, it is HAVU in control of the puck, but that extra control time only means so much. However, it will be HAVU going to the power play for the first time in this game. Vody to the box for interference. Didn't look like a 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, it did, and this is the I think the third best power play getting to go to work here for HAVU Gaming. As remember against Frölunda, those 2 goals that they got in their win came on the power play here, so a deadly power play getting to go to work.
Both teams ranked third in terms of the scenario they find themselves in. HAVU third best power play, Roots the third best PK. We saw a very successful penalty kill for HAVU earlier on in this game, and Roots looking to mimic that. So far, so good. Already halfway through this man advantage for HAVU. Dominoiti, 2 players on his back, keeps the puck. Bellius sends it back down low. Another look. B to D work with Nasistelia. They don't pull the trigger. Seabay shot may have clipped the post. That close for HAVU here in overtime. Villikun, we're back to 5-on-5. They need to work it quick. Another shot. This one blocked. So one quality chance for HAVU there on the man advantage. No dice. Sampi's shot blocked. Now it's Dominoiti for Puanzo. Nasistelia pinching in. Now a rush up the ice. Mickey's in this lineup here. Played 6 games for Roots in our winter season. Also featured in the playoffs. But it is his season debut in this one. Not known for playing defense, but quite strong. Back to deflection, scores! Roots Gaming come from behind to score 2 straight and take this one in overtime. A huge victory over HAVU.
Again, we said it could possibly look to end like this. Just a crazy kind of bounce that hit off, I think, a stick and then a couple skates before it found its way in. As Vody gets credit for it, so I think it must have just hit off defenders right there. A couple of no, I guess he was the one in front of the net. Just crazy one, crazy kind of end to that game, but something that I guess we could have been expected. And HAVU Gaming unable to find that go-ahead goal despite the amount of time on attack, despite all of the shots that they're able to get. It's Roots coming off on top of this one, and a huge extra point for them, and a huge jump in the standings for them as well. Again, with all those games in hand, they still have to win them. Money in the bank is only good if you can make that withdrawal, and Roots did it just right there, getting that extra point in that one. An awkward bounce in front, but it's what kind of can happen if you throw that puck on net sometimes. Roots capitalizes and gets the win.
A big result for Roots Gaming, as we talked about. A crazy schedule for them to end this season. Vody potentially facing the blame if the team were to lose. Instead, they end up getting the win. He gets credit with the winning goal, despite being heavily outshot. The time on attack heavily in HAVU's favor. HAVU just not able to take advantage of their opportunities.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what it comes down to and what has sort of plagued this HAVU team over the past couple seasons. I mean, they're looking looking much better than they really have in some ways on the offensive side this season once they've sort of figured it out. But at the same time, they still struggle with those. I just want to kind of say like the lapses of scoring. Yeah, two Roots players. Excuse me, it was hard to say from the back angle. But yeah, off one leg and then off the other. That's about as as fortunate as you could get if you're Roots Gaming. Double deflection past Hanselinho, and the not a whole lot that he could have done in that scenario. And again, it's just that the kind of HAVU Gaming situation where you look good, but you can't find the back of the net. And that's just kind of been the story for them the past few seasons, is even when they've looked good and be able to, get that offensive attack going, that down low cycle going, only be able to score one, maybe two goals in the game, often more times than not, it's not going to win you a whole lot of hockey games. To get a point, but the extra one goes to Roots, and points are so important for both of these teams at this stage in the season and where they find themselves in the standings with the amount of games played.
It's bound to be a winner like that when it's that close and the team's struggling to kind of get those goals. A 2-1 overtime victory for Roots Gaming in our first matchup of two between these two teams. We'll be back after a brief word from our sponsors to set the stage for that second game. All right, everybody, we are back. And again, a big thank you for sticking with us here. A big thank you to our sponsors at Wilhelm, Kovalin Lakritzi, and ST Hockey for helping sponsor this season. Sin, a big result for Roots Gaming. Wasn't the prettiest of wins, but the end of the season, you don't ask how, you just ask whether or not you got the results. And
Yeah.
they did. And they're going to need to continue to do that to hit their goal of making the playoffs. But taking points, or at least a point in that instance, off of direct competition in the form of HAVU Gaming at this stage, that can't be overstated. We have seen playoff spots decided by 1 point. We have seen playoff spots decided by goal differential. So you never quite know just how much a result's going to matter, even if, of course, HAVU do get a point for making it to the overtime. But that is just a gigantic result for Roots.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially I think if you're in a Root situation with all those games in hand, you just want to collect the points as in any way possible. So that extra one here, yeah, you give HAVU one, but there's a lot of other teams that you still need to leapfrog to be able to get up to where HAVU is right now. So for Roots, definitely they'll worry about picking up the points for now, and then at the end of all things, try to maybe worry about denying more points at the same time to some of those teams that they will be competing with. But in the same vein, that extra point, so important for them, as we get a look at who we're matched up with right now, HAVU Gaming and Roots, and a little bit later for Lunda and Goons, which I'm absolutely excited for.
Big time matchup there between those two teams, no doubt about it. And of course, as well, a little bit later on, we'll have the info for you. Sin and I will be back this Sunday as we'll be kicking off week 5 of this spring season. Of course, a reminder as well, Twitter, Instagram, we want to see your clips, the best and worst that NHL 22 has had to offer you. Make sure to use the hashtag eHockeyMoments. Some lovely IQ fuel could be yours, giving away some every week up until the end of June. So again, hashtag eHockeyMoments on Twitter and Instagram. And Sin, as we get ready for this now, end of the day, HAVU controlled that game, couldn't get the extra goal that they needed. We need to see a bit more of that offense here heading into this one. This is a team that was averaging 2 goals a game heading into the action today, which kind of puts them towards the bottom half of teams. And despite some departures and changes to the lineup, we still expect to see more.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure they expect the same of themselves here. We saw the potential in last game with all the zone time and stuff. We'll see if they want to try to double that up as a shot block from Sibelius. And HAVU went on the attack.
Yeah, they're off to a good start with the zone time. And HAVU in the home black and green, Roots in the road white, being hemmed into their own zone, finally clearing the puck. Not able to get that offensive chance. Good bit of physical play. So will be forced to drop this one back. Again, HAVU now 8-6-5 in this spring campaign. Certainly not what they would want with 11 losses so far, but at least 5 of them earning them a point. Those points do add up. You need every point you can get at this stage. Roots somehow able to gain the line. They keep possession as well. Limu. Now Sampi wanted that shot on the forehand. Couldn't get it. Of course, had a goal in that first game. Was his 6th of the season. Wansa wanted Dominoiti. And again, Sim, we know the strategies for HAVU, but Roots all over it right now. And kind of part of the reason as to why HAVU were held to 1 goal.
Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, we know the strategies, but clearly Roots does this well here, as that was a beautiful bit of just body position from Mickey's there, as he just completely cut off that passing lane, was just sitting in front of Dominoiti, and it's kind of maybe even surprisingly, the pass still tried to make its way towards him.
Again, HAVU and Nasustelia forced to drop back, and those forwards generate some speed. The pass, though, offside. Already through, or halfway through this first period.
Yeah, and again, good start from HAVU. This time they're unable to get that early goal and early chances here, as it seems like Roots continuing to adjust to what HAVU's going to throw at them. So see now if HAVU's going to be able to make the adjustments necessary to get some more chances. If not, they may be in danger of Roots gaining the advantage, as Hanselini had to play that one rather precariously, and now HAVU's struggling to get this out.
Looking to get some of that zone time. It came at a bit of a premium in the prior contest. They were still able to make the most of it. Roots back in control. Limu bumped off the puck, and big stretch pass finds its way to Dominoiti. 1 man to beat. Help arriving, but that rocket pass to Villikun off the mark, as is the follow-up, and HAVU have to reset. Puck dumped into that far side. Bounces over. Villikun couldn't handle it. And it's Roots. Head of steam. And the defense stands tall at the blue line. Good poke check here, though. It's got blocked loose. Puck nearly found its way to Lexa in front. Maybe the wake-up call HAVU needed, as if anything else hasn't provided that spark, as a shot blocked. And Roots continuing to work that dump and chase. Great job there by Villikun to take it away. Dominoiti. What a pass. Broken up at the last moment. Still ended up on net, and Yantis the save. That was a great pass by Dominoiti. Nasustelia just running out of time.
Yeah, tremendous pass. I'm kind of surprised Nasustelia tried to walk in with it. That seems like one of those locations where you want to just rip that one-timer, but perhaps he wasn't quite happy with the lane that he would have had. Decided to try to walk that one in a little bit, but saw the defensive sticks coming out from Roots, something that they've been so good at here in this matchup. They kept that away from the front. Another one right there. Dominoiti trying to take a shot and stopped by Vodi.
Final minute of play here in the first period. Villikun's pass off the mark. A little bit of space now for Lima to work with. Self-sauce and a spin. Broken up. And that will do it. So through 20 minutes, we have yet to find the opening goal of this contest. We'll get a look at a save from Yantes.
Yeah, he's did a... yeah, that's the one they're going to show. He had a little bit of a better save at it than earlier stage of the period, but it wasn't as threatening of a period from HAVU as the previous first period was. And, you know, at this point, if they are leading in time and attack, you got to kind of see it as almost not wasted time, but not really high quality time. As indeed, you know, 2:09, but only that one registered shot. In fact, only one registered shot from either of these two teams in the period. I guess the one I was thinking of earlier actually got blocked, but yeah, just not a whole lot going on for either of these teams in the offensive side of things. They're both really focused on that defensive end here, but you know, something's got to kind of try to open up here for both of these teams, because you can't necessarily win games playing a defensive style the entire way unless you want to, you know, throw it up to chance, throw it up to bounces, which I think I'd say most teams at least want to have their own destiny in their hands here. So we'll see what kind of adjustments both these teams are going to want to make to maybe open things up a little bit and create some more offense.
Second period underway here. Again, a 2-1 victory for Roots in overtime in the first game. A bit later on for Lunda taking on Goons, a battle of two playoff contenders, though. Goons currently sitting in 6th, trying to get back on track after a disappointing winter season. Roots finally getting some offensive zone time. The puck alive. Limu with a net drive. Just didn't give up on the play. Forced a big save out of Hanselino, his biggest of the game so far.
Absolutely, and was he, if he was, jeez, what a hit right there.
Dominoiti backhand scores. Eat your heart out, Danny Heatley. 1-0 in favor of HAVU Gaming.
Absolutely, the backhand of truth coming out from Dominoiti there. Just a quick little counterattack. It started with a massive hit in the neutral zone, which I was, kind of cut off my original point. And then I saw that, bit of a breakaway developing, and Dominoiti made no mistake on that, going backhand and beating Yantes and taking the advantage for HAVU here, 1-0.
We continue on. Dominoiti with both goals today for HAVU so far. We'll see again if Roots are able to respond. They did in kind in the last game, tying it up and then winning it in overtime. HAVU going to be desperate for that insurance goal to ensure that this game goes a little bit differently. As a good pickoff there by Lexa. Roots not able to thread that pass through. Good job there in the neutral zone to win it back. Can HAVU, though, reading everything that's being thrown at them. Fortunately, that pass going to go for an icing.
This is a bit of an opportunity here for Roots, as they've been hard pressed to really be able to gain that line with any sort of consistency and gain offense with any real sort of consistency besides that, kind of a singular effort from Limu, which forced out a big save, and he was just a little bit away from getting that follow-up opportunity. Once again, Dominoiti, good job on the face-off, and HAVU comes away with it.
Now shot, good save by Hanselino. Keep this a 1-0 scoreline.
Yeah, a bit of an errant pass there from Puanzo. It went directly to the stick of Roots Gaming. Ended up to be one of their better chances of the game right here. So, self-inflicted wound from HAVU. They're going to want to try to clean that one up. The last thing they want to do is allow Roots.
Good save. Puck nearly swept in by his own man. Hanselino facing some tough competition here all of a sudden.
Absolutely. May have to keep the commentary to between whistles only with the way this puck is bouncing around in the end of HAVU right now.
Off the draw, clean win for Roots. One-timer, good kick save by Hanselino. Roots trying to win this puck back. Halfway through this period, Limu banked it off the side of the net, goes all the way back to the neutral zone. See what Roots can do here. Try to tie this one up, sooner the better in their case. That next goal, if there is one. Incredibly important even at this stage of the game. HAVU looking to get that insurance goal. They couldn't last time, and they might get it here. Puanzo dominate the over, they score! Villikun finding the back of the net. HAVU do find that insurance goal. It's 2-0.
Absolutely. What a play coming out from HAVU right there off of the rush, and the leading scorer for HAVU gets another one on his great season here, playing up at forward from right defense. Villikun, just a tremendous finish off a beautiful, another rush play coming out from HAVU. So, they are kind of, throwing that into the arsenal of this game here. And that's, again, the shot goes wide for Roots. It's something that one of these teams needed to do was make an adjustment to get more offense. HAVU has done that, and they got a 2-goal lead because of it.
All the pressure now on Roots. Now score those 2 goals to battle back. Slap shot blocked by Dominoiti. Going for Puanzo, immediately contested, has it still. Villikun shot blocked. Sibelius just couldn't hold that one in.
Yeah, you got the yeah, he had a good bead on the puck. You just kind of got that one animation where you kind of reach out for it and then drag it back right there. So unfortunate offside for them, but a good bit of momentum here for HAVU. If they can get out of this period with the lead that they have right now, they're in good shape headed into that third.
4 minutes to go. Plenty of time for either side. Find a bit of a breakthrough. Good pick off there. Roots trying to keep this one in the attacking zone. Again knocked loose, but HAVU doing a good job as Dominointi wanted that flip out for Villikun. Bit of a miscommunication. And a smart play there by Roots to chase that one down on the delayed call. It will save them more time, especially if they win this draw.
Absolutely. And, neutral zone draw. Sometimes you can, especially it can be easier to get it into the zone if you win it immediately here. Less time for the opponent to kind of set up on the line. But Dominointi has just been so good on the draws.
Puck knocked loose again. Roots looking for that first goal of this game. HAVU, close call. Dominointi nearly got that stretch pass. Clock ticking down here. That one off the face of Limu. Final 5 seconds. Maybe a chance for a shot. Paddled away by Hanselino. And that will do it. 40 minutes down, and now a 2-0 lead for HAVU Gaming, thanks to this goal from Dominointi, at least to kick things off.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful play. Bit of a partial breakaway using that forehand, then cuts back to the middle when he had that step on the defense, and cutting across the body like that with the speed that he has, so tough for a goaltender to track. And that second one as well, just a quick little passing play off the 3-man rush, finding Villikun on the back door and beating Yantes before he could really react to that in time. So you see it coming out there. The HAVU just, kind of capitalized on their opportunities. You see that they turned into more of a rush style in that period, as they only really had about 40 seconds of total time on attack. So you see how quickly they just finished things off in that one. And rough kind of look for Roots here, is they haven't been able to find the back of the net. There's just not a whole lot of time in attack. So the game plan switches of HAVU have been great. They're attacking off the rush and still being able to defend quite well, and Roots are still struggling to find that line, still struggling to be able to counterattack consistently. You see the layers of defense of HAVU being able to kick off, and this is how HAVU like to play. A couple goal lead, and they are in the driver's seat.
Third period underway here. Again, Sin, as you mentioned it, in the driver's seat, very much so. Very difficult for teams. We get those 2 quick goals to open up as offensively as they need to. But that is the picture-perfect way to start off a period when down by 2. As Lexa finds the back of the net, and just like that, we have a brand new game in front of us.
Yeah, just a bit of a bouncing puck right there, but they both drive the net. Lexa gets that loose puck, is able to sneak it home on the backhand there, and just kind of as they did in the last game to get a quick goal at the start of the period. This time it's at the start of the third, and it's not a game-tying goal, but they set themselves up to have plenty of time to get that tying goal here, and they're in possession now in the neutral zone.
Another chance there. Thought there might have been a trip called there, but no penalty drawn, and we continue on. Stelish, interesting there. Sid, that looked like a pass that was on net more so than a shot.
I think so. Maybe he was trying to hit Puanzo the second that he moved right there, and it kind of went on net, and it could have easily found its way into the back if Yantes hadn't been in position there. So bit of a fortunate positional save from him, but HAVU looking for a quick response here.
They are in the attacking zone, but not for long. We didn't even have time to jinx that one. It was right as I started speaking that Delius couldn't keep that one in. Quick out, one-on-one. Great poke check there to knock that one away. Villikun was stifled. It's Roots now in the attacking zone. Holding the puck in the corner, picked off by Villikun. Alonso back to him. Bit of space in the middle, knocked loose. That's a Stelia's shot, completely rejected by Sampi.
It looked like it hit off his stick and went all the way into the back, so good job from him. Good positional work here as the dump and chase coming out from HAVU now.
Chopped around, Roots. Tried that quick out. Stelia read it perfectly. Alonso into the attacking zone. A great poke check by Limu. Head of steam now holding up. That shot save. Rebound scores! Limu posts up in front, starts it on one end, finishes it on the other, and Roots have come back from 2-0 down to tie this game.
Wow, just like that. I mean, quick kind of plays of their own, and a nice little rebound there given up, and Limu capitalizes it. That's just a couple quick ones here in HAVU. Yeah, we're going to see a timeout coming, and they got to feel a bit shocked in this one and how Roots has just been able to storm back, but they're the ones throwing the puck on the net. You can see from the shots taken here, and they're getting rewarded with it right now. And that's unfortunate for HAVU here, but for Roots, I mean, this is the kind of team that they've really been over the course of their ECL tenure. They always kind of stick around. They're always just, historically at least, trying to get into those last couple of seedings in the last couple seasons. They haven't been able to do that. But if they're able to take, another couple points perhaps off of HAVU here, that could be absolutely massive.
A tough look for HAVU Gaming here, who double hit will result in a penalty, and it's going to be Roots going as an interference call here against Nasustelia as his legs hit a man when he was down. That is one of the most bizarre penalties I've ever seen, son.
Yeah, I can't actually figure out what happened unless it happened right before they both kind of tumbled to the ice, but that's really tough to say.
What an opportunity, though, it is now for Roots. I was saying, HAVU entering play today, really trying to solidify that playoff push. This is one of the teams in the form of Roots that are in direct competition with them at this stage. A disastrous day this could prove to be. That shot loose in front. Roots will hold on to it. Still 50 seconds to go on the man advantage. Great work there at the point. Pass off the mark, but possession still held. In front, big glove save, Hanselino. Remember that one. HAVU is able to battle back here.
Yeah, and a good bit of cycling from Roots as you see them actually. Vody's going down low into the power play oftentimes, and he slid that one over to Sampi there, who kind of adjusted the stick to get that forehand shot away, but good glove save by Hanselino, and HAVU able to clear that one out, and that'll kill them the rest of the time here. So power play where Roots don't capitalize, but HAVU, again, they need to find something to get back on the offensive side of things. It's been all Roots.
8 minutes to play here in regulation. Following what ends Wednesday for a reason, not just for one overtime, but numerous, and we could be in store for another if this continues. That shot off the leg of a defender. Dominoiti as well can't get that one on target. Shot blocked down again. Great defensive effort from Roots. Dominoiti's rocket pass doesn't find its intended target. Alonso elects to go back down low. HAVU getting that cycle work going, but Zibe's blast just wide. Blocker side. Dominoiti keeps fighting forward here in the corner. Covered again by Villicum. Wanted that wrap around. Think he went for it just a bit too early. Wants it for Dominoiti. Villicum backhand scores! All the possession time in the world, and it pays off. HAVU regain the lead. It's 3-2.
Excellent bit of pushback from them. They needed a response. They got it right there. Villicum couldn't quite make the wraparound happen, but he goes back to crash the net as it goes on net. Just a beautiful bit of work from HAVU, but especially Villicum in that one. Just kind of the hustle towards the front of the net to get his stick on, to get that backhand shot off and beat Yantes. And here's HAVU back in the lead. Time ticking away. Roots trying to push back.
Puck on net. Hanselino able to find it at a crucial time, under 2.5 to play. Can HAVU hold on here? It's a very important face-off now. One clean by Dominoiti. Villicum. Well with the defense. Great job by HAVU, but they have to get the puck out. Sibelius is intercepted. Tested at the blue line. Dominoiti, at least again, gets it out of the zone. Left for Sampe to go. Stelia can't hold on to it through the triple team pressure shot. Saving a rebound. Taken away by Villicum. Wanza can't do anything with it. 40 seconds now for Roots Gaming. Tie this one up. That puck bouncing around again. Now Roots in possession. Great defense there by Nasustelia Pawanso. The rest of the HAVU forwards can't hold on. Limu, delayed call. Thought HAVU had it there. No, it's an empty net, excuse me. Not often that you see a team pull a goalie in open play. I respect the effort, though. This one's going to go down for icing with 5.4 on the clock.
Huge opportunity here for Roots. They have the goaltender pulled. The extra man's out there, but it comes down to this face-off here. Can they win it? Get a last attempt off. They're going with a normal set, not aggressive.
See what happens. They need this face-off win. Tie up. Recovered by HAVU. Clock killed. And HAVU Gaming with a hard-fought victory here in this second game. They win it 3-2, earning 3 points on the day over the Roots 2. And just like that, it goes from a rough situation to not being that bad of a night.
Yeah, absolutely. That could have really been kind of disastrous for HAVU, as they did give up that 2-goal lead, but the late goal from Villikun, this one right here, sliding that backhand past Yantes there, just couldn't react in time with that glove. Turns out to be the game winner, and very importantly for them, they get the extra point, but perhaps more importantly, they deny a point from Roots there, who did their best to fight back. So Roots, they do get 2 points on the day. Definitely not too bad, but HAVU Gaming walking away with 3 out of 4, which, for them to, and where they are in the standings with the amount of games played, they have very, very beneficial there, as they'll, let that record increase a little bit, be able to hopefully stay on that left-hand side of the bracket.
Again, Hanselino with some big stops down the stretch. The comeback efforts for Roots cut off as HAVU right there with the goal. Villikun, the game winner, to secure all 2 points in this matchup, as again, Roots will finish the day with the 2 points from their winning game 1. HAVU, of course, lost that first game in overtime. So, a strong effort. And look at the reversal there in terms of the shots. Just a very bizarre set of games, I think, is the best way I can sum that up.
Definitely. And HAVU kind of, had the 2 goals off of 3 registered shots. They got 3 more in that period and finally scored off an offensive zone kind of possession. And their time on attack spiked again too past 5 minutes. But yeah, just again, very kind of odd games. And I was going to mention in the previous one, that Roots passing percentage was exceptionally low. I think it was 65% after the last period. So they really need to clean up that passing there. I think that was definitely holding them back a bit in that matchup. You want to definitely see like 75 to 80% more of kind of, I would say, the baseline that you want to reach in a game like that. So yeah, definitely a couple of passes that probably didn't need to be missed for Roots Gaming, which, led to some times that HAVU was able to get that puck out or just, being stopped at the blue line there. But Puanzo with a very kind of a quiet 3 assists tonight right there. Great performance from him in that game, being involved in every single one of those HAVU goals. And, probably no bigger time to have a night like that than this one, to get 3 out of 4 points against a team really, as we've been saying, was probably going to be one of those teams that you are competing with a playoff spot for. So good finish there, as well as that great finish from Villikun, as we're getting a look at the goals scored by HAVU. I mean, that one just a beautiful bit, Ponce with that first initial pass, and Dominoiti fed it back over, but then came the pushback from Roots. They got that puck in here as the pass went to the middle, and it was just like kind of a bouncing puck scenario when Lexa was able to find it and slide that one through. It definitely wasn't pretty, but it's, they were able to get pucks and bodies to the net. You saw the shot attempt that got kind of stopped right there and is able to be followed up upon and kind of just scored. So again, just solid job from Roots to battle their way back, but unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get the game winner. And that one, just the defense of HAVU losing contain on a guy, letting him get in front of the net. No one around him right there. Free pickings for the rebound, and he was able to capitalize on that. And of course, the final game winner. We're getting the zoom. We're getting the zoom.
Well, we know King of Apes is in the chat, so everyone looking to impress here down the stretch. It was a great effort as well to deny his teammates the ability to actually defend on that one.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you got to make sure you send the message.
Yeah, Puanzo 3 assists, and actually 4, could argue 4 assists for his effort on that goal right there. But yeah. Oh yeah, I guess if it's Report wants it for trolling. Yeah. At least Havu having a good time definitely after that one as it cracks me up, man.
So there we go again. Our first two games in the books, a 2-1 victory for Roots in overtime in game one. As you just saw, a 3-2 regulation win for Havu. But with that, we are set to step away for a moment because the action is not done on this broadcast. We'll be back in just a few moments. Two games between Frölunda and Goons. Two massive games as well for these two clubs, and we'll break everything down surrounding this matchup when we come back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere.